in the machine. Angry kid, bad at every level, calling out the kings and the fish and lady devils. Paradise is burning down, words of paradise, burning down the town. He talks, he fights, he stays up through the night. Paradise is burning down, words of paradise, he wears a digital crown.
Finally, word to the CounterCast. How are all you vital idols doing? Unfortunately, no Cindy today due to some unfortunate circumstances. Her power is going in and out of the storms in the area. So we're riding solo, but it's still going to be a good show. We got a hell of a show for you guys because I'm sure you've seen the news. Bro, Asha came in and she cleaning house, dog. Oh, it's going to be so good. We got more than that. Anime piracy sites, they on the takedown. The UK wants to control YouTube. Yes, is an insane story. Even YouTube was like, yo, UK, go fuck yourselves. It's wild. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about all that and more. Who we got up in this bitch? Let's take a look-see. I see Anthony Way is here. Jack SG2's Clip 420, a kick in the nuts. Matthew O'Brien is here. Matt Stanford. We got the Coach O'Dragon, that darn Otaku. St. Hugo with IRL Albert Wesker, and Future Paul, the IRL bestie. What is up to both of you dogs? Lithium Lux Eterna holding it down over on Kick. Who else we got? We got Dax Narpus mod on the whole damn land. Clifton 3D. Debt on a Trike is here. Shout out. Dormant Psych. Thank you. I love that intro as well. Worked hard on it. We might have something new in the works with an additional one. It's going to be a good time. Uncle Martin sucks at gaming. You know something more than all these companies. Just got axed. Again, we'll talk about that. The True Aztec Warrior is here. Shout out to you, Edmund Weber. How you doing, homie? Let's see. Fast Wheels Gaming. Wait, are you gay? Shadow Buster is here. Shout out Shadow Buster. Ghost of Valhalla. Leighton Gay. Join in watching Hitno playing Tunic. Oh, he's playing Tunic? Nice. I have Tunic. I haven't gotten to play it yet. It's in my library. I'm playing so many other things. Trauma Tuna holding it down over on Kick. What is up, homie? Junebug May Cry is here. You love to see it. Guys, it's gonna be a good show. I don't know what it is, but I got a feeling. And this is a good way to start it off with a two-banger. A Kick in the Nuts says, I'm not late. That's true. You're not late. 4 months of being a member, and you're not late this time. Thank you for being the first person to put some coinage in the Xbox gasoline fund, because that shit getting burned the fuck down. What is up, Xavier? How you doing, homie? Both you and Hypno will love Tunic. It's one of my personal favorites. Yeah, it's like Legend of Zelda with a cat. Like that's my understanding. It's like Legend of Zelda, but with a cat. Speaking of Hypno, shout out. I do see the Hypno raid that just came in. What is up, homie? I hope you had a great fucking stream. Apparently, you were playing Tunic. So, dude, thank you so much for the raid, Hypno. Y'all coming in at the right time because I know we all love talking our game talk. And I don't do a whole lot of game talk. We're doing some gaming talk today. I usually save it for the end of the week when we talk about on SNH, but sometimes the story is so good, oh, you're a fox. I didn't realize. Okay, you're a fox in Tunic, not a cat. Look, I've only ever seen the art. My bad. Hey, the shirt game. Do I wear large or extra large? I don't wear either. I wear small to medium. That being said, I wear large when it comes to like just comfy clothes, hanging around the house, wearing baggy stuff. So yeah, large it is. Because certainly not an extra large. Do I look that big to you, motherfuckers? Asking if I wear large or extra large. Do I look that fucking fat to you? I'm a small individual. This is a medium. This is a medium. Wow. Why do I feel attacked out the fucking gate? I asked Dax, he said XL. What? Fuck that furry bitch. You able to make it with a 5-banger. It's a fox, you uncultured swine. Well, it's a fox, not a swine. Hypno is making a fox themed avatar already. That's awesome. That's awesome. Shout out. Thank you so much for the 5-banger. I appreciate you, homie. My man made a mistake. Come on now. How many Dex? We've known each other for like 2-3 years now. That is, look. I need to play a clip from the motherfucker that sent a 5-banger. You up Omega. And then I'll get to some of these others. That was
Leon, Moxie. Are y'all niggas happy? Y'all happy? You proud of yourself? I hope you niggas is happy. Congratulations to all the new single moms on the channel, but I just hope you niggas are just so happy with what you've done.
That's how you make me feel. That's how you make me feel. Like a clown. Am I a clown to you? Haha, dance, monkey dance. Speaking of monkey, we actually have any stories about black people today. Leon used to be thicker and need an XL, but the carnivore died. Okay, even at my biggest, I never need an XL. It was always a large. Even at my biggest, I just need a large. Thank you very much. Out here spreading lies and shit. What the fuck was that? Oh, you miss lore. You miss lore. All right, crew. We got a lot to talk about and not a lot of time to do it. So let's just cut to the chase. Let's bring it up. I'm sure you've all seen it. Asha Sharma is cleaning house. This is the transparency we've been hoping for. How y'all been watching me? I've been saying for ages, I like Asha. She says a lot of the right things. I like a lot of what she's saying, but I want to see action. And to be fair, she's given us some action before, but it wasn't enough. Now we can discuss whether this is enough, but this is still the level of transparency that I think that all gaming companies should have. And then some. Let's read through this. This is from Asha directly. This is from her ex. This is an important email I sent today to all employees at Xbox. And we're going to go through this bit by bit. We're going to commentate on this a lot. UF Omega with a 5-banger. I'm messing with you. Easy mistake to make. Like waking up next to a furry. I don't know if that's an easy mistake to make, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the 5-banger. I'll play some clips after we go through some of these. We are beginning the most significant restructure in Xbox history. Right off the gate. Out the gate. This is the first sentence, son. If you watch the Friday stream, Sevi asked a very important question. Will there be a restructuring? Because we knew about the layoffs. We knew the layoffs were coming. She asked, what about the restructuring? Great question. Because they need it. They need to do it out the gate. Confirmation. Top-down restructuring. Look, I don't like consoles. I'm a PC master race type motherfucker. That being said, I hate Sony so goddamn much. I want to see Xbox take all the dubs just to say fuck you to Sony with everything they've been pulling. With everything they've been pulling for the last, 36 hours or so, maybe a little bit more than that. I want to see them ground into the dust. So restructuring is good. After careful consideration, I've made the difficult decision to reduce our team by approximately 3,200 throughout fiscal year 27. Now, I'll be real, I was hoping for a bigger number. I was hoping again, like full Dragon Ball style. It's over 9,000. That's what I was hoping for. But I'll take this. This is a nice, good start. 3,200 worthless motherfuckers that have contributed to nothing but the degradation of the gaming space, of course, the last 10 years or more, losing their jobs. I'm down, son. That's a good start. Also, difficult decision. That's funny. No, it wasn't. It was not a difficult decision. You want to know how we know it wasn't a difficult decision? Because the shit she goes on to say later in this email. This email is damning. This will include approximately 1,600 role eliminations today. Today. Guys, this came out today. This tweet dropped. That means as we stand on July 6th of 2026, Xbox just lost 1,600 motherfuckers. Walked in today not knowing it'd be their last day. I'm hoping that's HR. I'm hoping that's middle management. I'm hoping that's DEI hires who only got hired because of their skin color or what fucking body parts they had or who they like to fuck. They don't actually know how to code. Cut the fat. Trim the fat. Dude, the only time you need fat is on a fucking steak. Any other time, you trim that fucking fat. In addition, 4 studios will leave Xbox to new management. I recognize that a year-long restructuring creates additional challenges. Unfortunately, it is not possible to make all the necessary changes in a single day, and I want to be direct about the scale. I can't recall last time I saw something like this. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just twisting history. Maybe I'm misremembering because I was quite a bit young at the time. Last time I saw transparent moves being made like this was when Nintendo brought in Reggie Fils-Aimé. And Reggie came in and Reggie shook shit up. And he was blatant about it. He was brutal about it. He had this like edge to him that was almost unheard of, especially for Nintendo of America at the time. This might be the biggest shakeup in gaming since Reggie Fils-Aimé. I can't think of another one in between them. Not saying there wasn't one, but I can't think of one in between them. I know this is painful. These changes will directly affect people who have poured their creativity into building Xbox. Nah, it's fluff. That's fluff. No one gives a shit. Nobody cares. Yeah, it'll directly affect people who poured their creativity. There's been no creativity into building Xbox. It's the old Tolkien quote. Evil cannot create. Evil can only destroy what good has created. And that is what is happening to Xbox, honestly, in every era post 360. Many joined us through acquisitions, while others were recruited here or sought out because they loved this industry and loved Xbox. Today's decisions do not reflect their talent or dedication. Oh, I'm sure it reflects some of them. I'm sure it reflects. Look, here's the dealio, man. You don't cut 1,600 jobs, or what was it, 1,200 a day? Hold on. Yeah, 1,600 jobs and go forward to cut up to 3,200 jobs if there was talent there. Because you're going to be keeping the talented ones. That's the way the industry works. That's the way the industry should have always worked. You keep the talented ones. You cut the dead fucking weight. Think of it like a zombie apocalypse, right? You got 10 people in your crew. You got someone that knows how to treat wounds. You got someone who knows how to be a charismatic leader. You got someone that knows how to be a goddamn marksman. You got someone who knows, like hunting and gathering and tracking skills. When you got that one dumb broad that trips over every branch and she's always crying and she's being loud and she's drawing the zombies to your attention and shit like that. Nah. You let that bitch get eaten and you keep fucking moving. It's that simple. You let that bitch go the way of the T-virus, and you keep trucking on. Cut the dead weight. There was no creativity there. Our business today is not healthy. Oh, shit! She just out there saying it, son. When was the last time you heard a CEO just straight up be like, "Yep, business is failing. Business is failing. We not doing too good out here in them streets, boys." You want to know the biggest bitch of the bunch here? The biggest bitch of the bunch. This goes against everything I've ever said. Like, I've talked about being a misogynist, how I want to see women in power. This bitch doing what not Jim Ryan, whatever homie's last name was. I'm blanking on it. Like, anytime you get an actual good story about a strong female character, I'm talking good stories, T2, Alien, Tomb Raider, old school Resident Evil. When you have these stories with actual strong, capable females, and then that's not how women actually work in real life, this disproves that. I'm not saying it's common, and I'm not saying I want to see them all the time. But I am saying that broken clocks be right twice a day. She's coming out here. She's actively saying our business today is not healthy. No shit. We've been saying that for a decade. Phil Spencer, by the way, not Jim Ryan, Phil Spencer. We've been saying that for a decade. And now, of all people, a woman CEO is admitting it. That's crazy. We are operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than comparable platform and publishing businesses. That's ridiculous. Like if it were, let's say the Xbox were not owned by Microsoft, right? There was its own just, scrappy first-party developer. It didn't have the subsidization of a major player in the tech space like Microsoft. They'd be done. They'd be gone. They could not have operated numbers like these. 3 to 10 times. That is insane. Yeah, she's telling the truth. I can't believe it. We entered Gen 9 with a smaller install base and higher cost structure. To grow, we bet on Game Pass, multi-platform, and a broader portfolio of content. While those businesses have created meaningful value, they did not grow at the pace we expected. Remember when all of us were talking about how bad Game Pass was for the industry? When all of us were talking about why would people buy games if you could just play it day one on a subscription service that was like $15 a month or something. Now, granted, Game Pass has gotten way more expensive, which has, of course, led to a lot of people canceling it. But anybody with any goddamn common sense was saying from the get-go for a long time now, that's not going to work. These games have millions upon millions of dollar budgets behind them. What's the game coming out soon? That's like a $400 million budget behind it. I mean, fuck. GTA 6, well, I know is the exception, not the rule. Most games, nearly no games have this, but $2 billion budget. A $2 billion budget. Even for these games that have $200 million, $400 million budgets, and then you're going to just let people play that effectively for free on Game Pass, they're never going to buy it. Why would they buy it? They've got Game Pass. How many of these content creators, these industry shills, like Booty Adams from the Spawn on Me podcast, no, everything's fine. Xbox is doing great. Now, these chuds know what they're talking about. Oh, hey, I got gifted mixtape. I got gifted South of Midnight. I got all the swag and the goodies, and I get to talk about how great these games are. And then when people ask him, well, how much was the game? Was it worth it? Oh, I don't know. I played on Game Pass. He actively said that about multiple games. I don't know. I played on Game Pass. So you were sent the swag, which of course costs all that money. You shilled for these companies. You shilled for these games. And you didn't even have the good goddamn courtesy to play the game not on Game Pass. And you wonder, and Xbox wonders why they're in the situation they're in. They're out here effectively saying, yeah, Game Pass has value. I'm not even saying it doesn't, by the way. I'm not saying Game Pass doesn't have value. But to put your flagship AAA games on there day one, we all knew was fucking retarded. Goes on to say, while those businesses have created oh, sorry, I got that already. Let's see. While they've created meaningful value, they did not grow the place we expected. Yeah, as that happened, our core business weakened, and we added more teams, more investment, more time, hoping for a better outcome. Let me explain that for you guys. We spent a lot more money thinking we got to spend money to make money, except for they didn't improve the quality of their product in any way, shape, or form. They did not market in any more advanced way to bring new people in. Basically, they were just burning money. And they're admitting they are burning fucking money. Or at least they were. And now the industry is facing the most severe hardware crisis in its history. We must reset Xbox. Correct. You must. You certainly must. Now, how are you going to do that? Is the Helix going to be more than $1,000 after everybody was complaining about the Steam Deck? Is it going to have a disk drive? I'm curious about that. How are you going to reset Xbox? Now, you're laying off a bunch of people. That's a good start. You're axing some studios. That's a good start. You're restructuring the studios. That's a good start. There's a lot of good in here. Is it going to be enough? That's the question. And no, I don't want to say I don't want to see Xbox deleted. I don't. I'm a big fan of the free market. I'm a big fan of capitalism. I'm a big fan of competition within the market. While I want to see the industry burn to the ground, that is technically what this is. Asha's coming in and she is burning down Xbox as we know it. But that could allow it to rise like a phoenix from the ashes. And I love that idea. I do. I love the idea that she's coming in, she's cleaning house and saying the days of just throwing money at shit and hiring people willy-nilly and buying studios, those days are done. We focus on games. We focus on gamers. We focus on talent, not acquisitions, not throwing money. Look at how Sony is acting with Xbox failing these last few years. Imagine if Xbox was completely gone. They would legit become the devil. Bingo, bango, bongo. Exactly. Without Xbox, without Sony, without Nintendo. Now, to be fair, Sony is already evil as fuck. Xbox has never been evil, mind you, at least no more than any other massive conglomeration. They've just been stupid. They've just been fucking dumb. Sony's been outright evil. But we need all these multiple players in the ecosystem to drive competition. And we've not been seeing competition. We've been seeing, the Game Developers Conference, the GDC, all buddy-buddy, all happy-go-lucky. We haven't seen them competing with one another. We haven't seen, like Wizard so aptly pointed out in his E3 video, all three of the major companies, Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation, under the same roof at the same conference at E33 having direct competition where they've got butts in seats and you can hear who's cheering and who isn't. Asha knows. She's locked in. First, we'll reset our content portfolio. Since 2018, we've aggressively expanded our studio portfolio while the number of games created each month across the industry now outpaces the last 10 years combined. Yes, there's an oversaturation of the market. There's an oversaturation of the market, which is hilarious because it's being carried on the back of indie and AA games. Because it's taken y'all 6 to 8 years to make a fucking first-party AAA game. A game that nobody cares about, mind you. A game that people aren't going to play. Fable? Who the fuck gives a shit about Fable? No one. Did I say E33 instead of E3? I meant E3. Thank you. If you guys didn't know, I was playing E33 earlier. Still on the noggin. I'm like 8 trophies away from having the plat. Anyway. Yes. What we're looking at right here is basically her acknowledging that AAA games, they ain't doing shit. It's all being sold on the backs of AA and indie. Like Hypno. Mecha Chameleon passed 15 million copies sold. 15 milli for an indie game that came out of nowhere. How are you making any sort of income on your trip? You've got all these studios. You acquired these studios. You built these other studios. How are you making any sort of money when it takes 6 to 8 years to get a first fucking party game out there? How many engines do you go through? How many changes and alterations? How many games are supposed to come out on one platform? They got shifted to the next because the technology outpaced it. So you effectively had to start from scratch. How many times you've been bringing in more and more developers? How much money is wasted going to middle management and to HR? No, absolute loser behavior. And she's acknowledging that. We've got more video games each month across the industry now, outpacing the last 10 years combined. We now find ourselves competing not only with the largest publishers, but also with smaller independent studios. Again, Mecha Chameleon, 15 million copies. How much did Schedule 1 sell? Right? How much did Schedule 1 sell? Schedule 1 did fucking numbers. Yeah, so much HR is evil. All HR is evil. This is, when you hear the CEO of Xbox basically say indie is a threat, what have we been saying for the last 2 years? She just straight up sent an email to all of her employees, and honestly, probably the top dogs above her as well. Because remember, she's just the CEO of Xbox. There's people at Microsoft that she still reports to, saying, we are losing to motherfucking indie games. Some fat Dorito crusted dude in his goddamn basement who's making you doing his coding after he's done with his day job be dropping games that are selling 15 million fucking copies. They're beating our shit. When have you ever heard a CEO of a massive conglomeration say stuff like this? This is bananas. It is neither possible nor desirable to own every great independent studio. Bam. We've all talked about acquisitions. We don't like acquisitions. Consolidation is the death of every industry. So when she says we can't do it, nor are we interested in doing it, don't want to consolidate. Hey, we're done buying shit. Buying shit doesn't just immediately translate to sales. Disney bought Star Wars. How'd that work the fuck out for them? Disney bought Marvel. Guess what? That brand is in the toilet now. There is no world in which consolidation, acquisitions, where that is helping the industry. And she acknowledges that. We've also learned that we are not the best home for every type of studio. That in and of itself is funny. But this next line, bro, this next line's a bar. In a typical year, we lost 64 cents for every dollar we invested. Oh my God! What? 64 cents lost for every dollar invested. Imagine having to explain that to your shareholders. Imagine having to explain that for every dollar invested, you lost more than half of it. And now imagine being the CEO of Xbox and saying that publicly. Holy shit. As we reset Xbox, we will help independent creators succeed by providing open development tools and audiences to realize their vision. Now she's going to be talking about the studio change-ups. Shill's out there punching the air right now, leaving comments like Xbox is fine, it's doing amazing, super profitable, nothing is wrong. She just gave us numbers, son. Just gave us fucking numbers. How long? How long have these been the numbers? I can't imagine it was like this prior to Game Pass. I'm not saying it was successful or profitable before Game Pass, but I guarantee you Game Pass just skyrocketed these fucking numbers. Wonder if Microsoft regrets Xbox. There are rumors. I do want to point out there are rumors that Microsoft is planning to spin Xbox off to its own subsidiary company that, while they still control, would be its own company instead of just its own department. So who knows if that's on the table or not. That could come with the restructuring. Xbox house is burning down. Good. The Xbox. Asha is out here committing fucking arson. She's burning down her own home, gonna collect the insurance money and rebuild a better fucking home. At least that's my hopes. That's my wants. She's burning this bitch down. She's absolutely burning this bitch down. But that's not a bad thing. I want her to burn this bitch down and then collect that insurance money and build you a fucking mansion. Compulsion Games and Double Fine Productions will return to management and transition to independent studios with their IP catalog and runway for the next games. They're straight up cutting them out. Compulsion and Double Fine are just getting cut out. And you want the funny thing about that? They ain't gonna last. The only reason Compulsion, I don't know too much about Double Fine's financial situation, but the only reason Compulsion has lasted this long is because that money Xbox was giving them. Money Xbox gave them for shit like South of fucking Midnight. Without that big daddy Xbox money, that big Papa Microsoft money, how are they going to sustain themselves? They're not. You will be seeing the eviction notice soon, and Compulsion Games will be kicked out of its cracked-in apartment and become a crack hole under the bridge on the south side. Just where they belong, because they made South of fucking Midnight. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs have entered terms to join new ownership with funding to complete and grow Senua and State of Decay 3. So, they're leaving Xbox to some other new management. Who knows where? That's the way I'm seeing it, at least. They're in Montreal. They can trim the fat and survive on subsidizing money. Maybe. I don't think so. Look, I get the Canada be giving out money like candy and shit, but that's got to dry up at some point. Without the backing of a conglomeration like Microsoft, I don't think they will. I'm going to be real. I don't think they will survive on just the subsidization money. I truly don't. They might for a year or two, but they are effectively just delaying the inevitable. They are delaying the inevitable. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs, I don't know. They're obviously not sticking with Microsoft. Who knows who their next buyer, management, whatnot is. State of Decay is already cooked. State of Decay is cooked. In France, Arcane's management is beginning required consultation with Works Council to review potential strategic options. So Arcane is on the chopping block. We don't know what they're going to go. Assuming I'm reading this properly, the way this is sounding to me, Arcane, Xbox is not committed one way or the other to yet, but it could go either way. And if I were Xbox, yeah, just fucking cut them. Cut them. You go through the consultation, sure, do everything that is, get your books all proper. Fucking cut them. We are also making reductions across other units, and in some cases, shifting investments to focus on higher priority projects. These changes vary in size across Activision, Bethesda / ZeniMax. What I tell y'all, like a week, 2 weeks ago, there was a report that Asha stormed into the Bethesda headquarters, was like, hey, where the fuck is Fallout and Elder Scrolls? Where's Fallout and Elder Scrolls? Where are your only two IPs that make fucking money? Yeah, maybe you can throw Doom in there as well. Fine, whatever. Fucking Doom in there as well. But y'all know, people don't think of Bethesda and think of fucking Doom. Yeah, the recent Doom games are popular. But that's not what you think of when you think of Bethesda. You think of Elder Scrolls and you think of Fallout. There was rumors floating around that Asha walked into Bethesda and was like, so where are we with the fucking Fallout games? Where are we with Elder Scrolls 6? So now she's like, you know what? You ain't been getting your shit done? Fired. Reductions at Bethesda. Only keeping the motherfuckers there. They're going to actually put out games. When was Elder Scrolls 6 announced and shown off that teaser trailer? Wasn't it when E3 was still around? I'm pretty sure it was the final year of E3. So like 2018, I think. We got the Elder Scrolls 6 reveal 8 years ago. Bethesda is fucked. Todd Howard shaking in his little boots, cowering at the Indian AI woman. Blizzard, King, Mojang, Xbox Game Studios, None of our first-party publicly announced games or projects are being canceled as part of these reductions. Right. Good. I actually think this is a good thing. None of these games are being canceled. Why is that good? Leon, nobody wants Fable. Who the fuck wants Fable? Nah, trust me. These games, the ones that have already been announced, they still need to come out. They need to come out. And when they fail, which they inevitably will, there will be games that come after, made by these smaller teams. That obviously are still under the employ of Xbox, that are hopefully are the ones that actually, passed the check, made their charisma rolls, made their skill checks, and they were able to stay in and actually work on games. And when those games come out and they're good and they're quality and they possibly sell, that is the direct confirmation Xbox needed. Yeah, problem was the bloat. The problem was the bloat. I thought Todd Howard could do no wrong, Leon. My love for Todd Howard is half true, half a meme. I love Todd Howard as a personality. I do not think he's a particularly good leader. I just love his personality. His personality is super fun. So yeah, my love of Todd Howard is like half meme, half real. In addition, Mojang and King will now report directly to me. I know some of y'all been in this position. You're like, oh, I have to report to the boss every day. That means you're in trouble. That means you're in trouble. Like when Mojang and King have to report directly to Asha, that is her saying, I have got my eye on you so fucking close. I want to watch every little thing you do. Because the moment you fuck up, you're going to hear about it. We've all been there at one point or another in our lives with a job. We have. Yep. Mommy's home. These two studios have increasingly become platforms and are our largest by monthly active players. They bring critical geographic, demographic, and differentiation to Xbox. Second, we'll reset our platform. We know the great technology gets better when it gets simpler, not bigger. This is objectively true. This, by the way, is objectively true. Think about computers. Just in general, think about computers, right? She means business? No, she means technology. Like, computers used to be the size of a house. We didn't make computers bigger to make more computational power. We made shit smaller. We made the microchip. Now the fucking cell phone in your pocket has more power than than anything that was around in the 1940s, 50s, 60s. As technology gets more physically condensed, it gets better. So obviously what I'm saying is a physical reality. She's using it metaphorically, but it's still true. Get simpler, not bigger. Today, in some parts of the company, work passes through as many as 14 layers of management. Bro, I've talked about my hatred of middle management. But at no point have I ever seen a business whose middle management like one of them Shaggy sandwiches from Scooby-Doo, where each like fucking layer of the sandwich would be middle management. It's like you got your bread, and then you got your tomato, and then your meat, then your lettuce, then your cheese, then tomato, the meat, then lettuce, and eventually, you got like 14 stacks of that before the bottom piece of bread, and Shaggy somehow like unhinges his jaw like an anaconda and puts all that shit in there. 14 layers of management is fucking ridiculous. I've never heard of that before. Our platform teams are 40% larger than they were at the start of this generation. 40 bloat. That is bloat. Imagine telling somebody, that's not even bloat, by the way. That's just straight up fat. Equate this to weight. Let's say the beginning of this generation was, 5 years ago, right? 5 years ago. If you walked up to somebody and you're like, yeah, I'm 40% heavier now than I was 5 years ago. Yeah, you fat bitch. You're fucking fat. 40% is insane. Even as our player base and playtime have declined. Oh, She admits people are not playing at all. It's not even about Game Pass. It's not like, oh, they're not just buying games. No, the player base has decreased. The play time has decreased. People are putting in, there are less people, and they're putting in less hours. People have just objectively been walking away from Xbox. Now, to be fair, PC gaming has been rising. PC gaming has been rising, so like there's 2020, that didn't matter for my hypothetical. Anyway, yes, PC has been rising. PlayStation, at least on paper, consoles have sold very well comparatively to Xbox. This is devastating. And she's laying it all out there. That complexity has slowed decisions, blurred accountability, and made it harder to deliver for players. As we reset Xbox, we will simplify. We will reduce management layers to no more than 5, and where possible, 3. Do you realize how insane these cuts are? Like people, and I'm one of these, to be fair. I'm one of these. People want to talk about, these layoffs and whatnot. Yeah, layoffs are good. Layoffs are important. I like layoffs. But when we talk about, oh, they lost 3,000 people. Oh, they lost 800 people. It doesn't matter how many they lost. It matters what they lose. Quantity over quality and all that. If the vast majority of what's being cut is fucking middle management, that's quality, baby. That's quality, baby. Cut all that middle management. You want to go from 14 layers of middle management down to preferably 3, max 5. That is enough to just get me rock hard right now on stream. I can't stand up. If I need to go take a piss right now, I would have to turn off my camera. That is that destruction of bureaucracy that gets my not nihilistic, that's the absolute fucking wrong word. My anarchist little heart just ever so flowing and beaten. We will deliver success through a flatter organization that is built around makers, individual contributors focused on building, player coaches, leaders who remain deeply involved with the work while developing their teams. So, direct supervisors, which is the proper way to manage, and directly responsible individuals, DRIs, who own key decisions and outcomes. We will streamline how we work across our tools with cleaner code base, shared services, and 50% reduced vendor spend. Less outsourcing. Less outsourcing. Do you guys understand? You guys understand what code she's cracked? Do you guys understand the code that Asha cracked? It's not anything new. Just go back to doing fucking game development how they were doing it in the 90s, in the early 2000s. Oh, we're going to have less direct, we're going to have, less middle management. We're going to have creatives making creative decisions, and we're going to not outsource as much as possible. Welcome to fucking gaming in 1998. That's cracking the code. What have we all been saying? Games didn't used to take 8 goddamn years to make. Why didn't they take 8 goddamn years to make? It's not because technology has gotten so advanced now that it just takes longer. No, it's just that we don't need middle management. We don't need bureaucracy. You need devs to know how to do their fucking job. You need leaders to know how to fucking delegate. It's that goddamn simple. Yes, Elon cut Twitter's workforce by 90%, and Twitter's just as good now. Actually, it's better now than before he was in charge. Third, we're resetting how we operate. As Xbox grew our headcount, we became far more fragmented. Teams, studios, and functions often operate independently. It became hard to work towards a shared goal, make the right trade-offs, get things done. For the first time, we're establishing a chief operating officer with end-to-end P&L responsibility across content, hardware, platform, and services. Helen Xiang, it sounds like a foreign woman. No, Helen, a pretty white name. Could be a white gal that married an Asian. Either way, it's a woman. I don't like women in power. I don't. Asha, you the exception to the rule, but I want to see other women in power. This is a red flag. He's been promoted to this role and will report directly to me. Over nearly 2 decades at Xbox, Helen has helped build some of our most important businesses, from Xbox Live to leading Mojang and the Minecraft franchise. Okay, you know what? She might be pretty qualified. Those are both big deals. Might be qualified. She'll bring our businesses together under one operating model, making sure we make clear investment decisions, learn from our successes and failures, and hold ourselves accountable for the results. It is more important to learn from your failures than your success. Both are important, but it's more important to learn from your failures than your success. And frankly, this email to me does in fact like make me think they are learning from their failures. So you know what? Step in the right direction. Don't forget, commies lie and they're infested with commies still. Yeah, but I mean, there's no fixing that. At least not right now. Baby steps. Baby fucking steps. CFH90 with the member for 10 months. I'm all for this, but I'll remain apprehensive until I have Elder Scrolls 6 in my hands. I hope you understand, CFH. Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be dog shit. It is. These changes are coming now. Elder Scrolls 6, sorry, there's no saving it. Way too far, assumingly, in development. All the bad habits, bad decisions, bad players. No. Elder Scrolls 6 is not going to show you if Xbox has fixed itself. It's too late for that. I hate to be, but I appreciate 10 months membership. I do. I appreciate 10 months membership. Thank you. Thank you, Dave McCarthy, who is retiring after 17 years with Xbox. Dave has played a defining role in building the platform that millions of players rely on every day and has been a trusted partner throughout many of the biggest moments in Xbox history. We wish him all the best. These changes are about a bigger future for Xbox, not a smaller one. The next decade of gaming will be larger, more global, and more creative than anything we've seen before. This year, we'll invest as much in Xbox as we ever have, but we'll invest with the greater focus, greater discipline, and greater clarity, all in the service of making Xbox where the world plays and creates. Now, this is a bunch of word salad. To me, this just sounds like we're going to continue spending money. We're going to spend it in the right way. I'll believe it when I see it. Shit like this kind of needs to be in these corporate form letters, but whatever. I want Xbox to be one of the few companies that entertains more than 1 billion people each day and gives everyone the opportunity to create and connect. I know we can achieve this goal. Xbox has many of the most beloved franchises in entertainment history, talented studios around the world, and will return to growth in 2027. Like, we're halfway through 2026. She knows that we ain't growing in 2026. Like, hey, no, we don't have enough time. We're halfway through the year. We'll start our growth in 2027. And the thing is, I'll give my thought in a moment. History is full of companies that mistake longevity for inevitability. We will not be one of them. Asha. Banger. Bars. Bars for days. And you want to know why I think this is true and why I think this is how things will turn out? This isn't just like blind faith. Because y'all know I'm an Xbox hater. Anyone that's watching me stream, anyone that's watched me on Saturday Night Hypnosis, anyone that's watched any of my gaming videos or whatnot, y'all know I fucking hate Xbox. I was a massive fan of the original Xbox. I loved the OG Xbox. I'm of the rare minority that actually did not like 360 as much. I still like it. 360 was still awesome. I still loved it, but I actually prefer the original Xbox to the 360. That's neither here nor there. Both were great. Then after 360, Xbox just fell off, dog. Xbox just fell the fuck off. Xbox fucking sucked after the 360. I've hated them for so many goddamn years. But I hate Sony so much more now. I hate Sony so much more now. Now I want to see Xbox win just to spite them. I want to see Xbox win just to spite them. And I think they're actually going to own up to this. I do. I think they're going to follow through. And here's why. Asha wanted to be CEO of Microsoft. She is not satisfied with CEO of Xbox. She's not. She wants to run the whole motherfucking company. And the only way she's going to get that, the singular way she will get that chance, is to turn Xbox around and make it a fucking powerhouse. Yeah, I need your... Imagine pitching yourself as the next CEO of Microsoft. Here's your mic drop. Yeah, when I took over, we were losing 64 cents on every dollar invested. Now we're making $2 on every $1 invested. CEO. CEO right there. That's how you win. That's how you win. I think she's gonna do it. I do. And like I'm, y'all know me. I'm not like out here rooting for consoles or nothing. But I'm very interested in where this goes. I can't believe we just saw a public shakeup like this. This is Asha Sharma out here pulling what Trump did in 2016. Just started blasting shit out to the public that the public was not ready to hear. I do not give a fuck if she's not a gamer. Here's the dealio. Anyone that thinks that the leader of these companies need to be a gamer, you're an idiot. All right? Reggie was not a gamer. Reggie was the fucking CEO of like Pizza Hut or something like that. If you think you need to be a gamer, yo, shout out Badger. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate you, homie. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. What up, ABF? I do not care that Asha is not a gamer. You do not need to be a gamer to make good fucking to be a good leader for a gaming company or any industry. Leaders change leadership positions in different industries all the time. You just need to be a good leader. It really is that simple. I do not give a fuck if she's not a gamer or whatnot. There's plenty of movies made by directors that, you know, didn't work in the original field or didn't work on the original film or even have interest in it or whatnot that made objectively good movies. We've all seen plenty of times where just because you're a fan of the thing doesn't make you good at making it. Dave Filoni, I have no doubt, is a massive Star Wars fan. Massive Star Wars fan. Unfortunately, the fact that he's a massive Star Wars fan is the problem. He just sits there and smashes his action figures together that are his favorites and calls that shit Star Wars now, and he's in charge. So I don't give a fuck if Asha is not a gamer. She 1000% could still be a good leader and do and bring Xbox to the point where it, you know, can finally be a viable fucking brand again. So anyone that says she's not a gamer, you are thinking so small picture. So small picture, you shouldn't be allowed to have opinions or rights. Shout out to Badger, man. I appreciate the raid. Thank you, homie. All right, where we at? Don't I mean Trapper Wolf? Yes, I do in fact mean Trapper Wolf. And I know you despise Star Wars Tiger King, but it was a good analogy. It was a good analogy. Alrighty. Let's see. What's the next story? That's right. We're gonna talk about this. This is a big one, guys. It's funny how Asha tried to make us think she was. Wait, what? It's funny how Asha tried to make us think that she was a gamer, though. That is true. I'll agree. She did try to do that. That's totally true. She did. Look, them Indians, the scammer shit runs in their roots. ABF. Udoka for a 5-banger. Magic was horrible, but didn't blow 100 billion USD over more than 10 years, leaving organization in shambles. Spencer ended up being worse. Phil Spencer was so generationally bad that I accidentally called him Jim Ryan on the stream earlier. I don't know if you were watching when I did it, but Phil Spencer's so legendarily bad that I accidentally called him by a name that wasn't even his. I accidentally said Jim Ryan. Shout out. Thank you for the 5-banger. I owe you a clip. I also owe UAF will make a clip for the earlier super chat. So you know what? These are for you.
How you doing, sir? Good. Can we talk to you? Where are you from? You live in New York?
Who are you?
Don Lemon.
You're a fucking moron, dude.
All right, so that was for you, UAF Omega earlier, and you know, Rudoka, this one's for you.
Plan B! This is for everyone you've killed! England, murderer! Hold your fire! This man isn't black!
Gaming is not a culture for the people in charge. It is a fucking business. It is a culture for us, absolutely. And good leaders don't need to be a part of that culture to know that they need to embrace and understand said culture to make money off of it. Gaming, just like comics, just like movies, just like music, it is a business. And it needs to be ran like a fucking business. And when you run it like a business, part of doing that is matching the energy and the wants and the needs of your customer base. Now, look, I don't like fucking apples, okay? I don't eat apples. That being said, if I want to sell some fucking apples, I know that I need to go to places where there's people who like apples. I'm not going to go to the place where people like oranges and try and sell them apples. That's fucking retarded. I'm going to go where the people who like apples are. I don't got to like apples or eat apples to know how to fucking sell apples. So this mentality right here is retarded. Again, gaming is not a culture for the people in charge, and that's fine. They're there to make money. It's not that I don't like apples. I can't eat them. I'm allergic to apples. So it's not that I don't like them. I just can't eat them. Are you someone excited for the Ellisons to take over Warner Brothers Discovery? I don't care one way or the other. I'll be real. I could not give a fuck less. The Ellisons are not the based right-wing pro-Trump heroes everyone else thinks they are. The Ellisons just go where the money is because they're good businessmen. They see where the culture is right now. They see that most people are right-wing, pro-Trump, the whole nine. So they're going there because that's what the culture is. They've also taken BlackRock money, done a bunch of shit for the Jews. So, I don't give a fuck. Ellisons are smart business people. That's all that matters. Xbox leaks last year. They hinted the Xbox refresh to focus on. I don't remember those, honestly. Yo, shout out to the CFH90 Cowboy from Hell, the OG, gifted 5 gifted Words of Paradise memberships. And he sniped ABF, good hit. Tony Elias, Black Lives, 13 Dragon of Light, nice. Dude, what some good hits in there. Let's see. Tiamat Lord, good hits. Well done. Yeah, bro, the guy that normally does the hitting just got hit. Bro, he Uno reversed ABF. That's crazy. He Uno reversed ABF. I mean, I think that calls for an ABF style clip. I rarely hand these out, but I think you earned it.
Who is this guy?
He is much more impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
Good hitting, homie. Good hitting. Let me just update the numbers real quick. And shout out, thank you so much. There we go. Numbers updated. All righty. Let's move on to our next story. We're done with the gaming. Because this is also equally terrifying. Actually, this is far more terrifying. I don't know why I said equally. Far more terrifying. YouTube urges creators to fight proposed UK algorithm changes. The authoritarian state that is the UK, by the way, the people that lost the Revolutionary War, are trying to strong-arm YouTube into prioritizing mainstream media outlets that align with the British media themselves. Like, the UK is straight up using 1984 style tactics to force YouTube to change its algorithm to the point where even YouTube, and let's be real, guys, YouTube usually plays ball with the state, right? YouTube loves it some big daddy government. But even YouTube was like, yo, UK, you're taking this too far. YouTube has alerted creators to the UK government's proposal for mandatory changes regarding how content is discovered on the site, with traditional broadcasters potentially being favored. The UK government has revealed its plans for a public consultation entitled Watch This Space, a new strategic direction for UK media. It comes after public service broadcasters such as BBC, ITV, Channel 4, and Channel 5 argue that despite their trusted journalism, social media platform algorithms favor creator content, the entertainment, or overseas publishers. Oh, you mean you're upsetting spaghetti because people don't want to watch your state-ran propaganda? They want to watch people giving you actual news or actual entertainment? Well, color me shocked that people are more interested in finding out about the Muslim that tried to cut the fucking head off just a random white shopkeep, and you won't charge the dude for it. You won't even admit it happened. Where are the riots coming from? Why are there all these riots in the UK? We're all so racist. Yeah, Yeah, maybe people want to hear the actual fucking news instead of just being called racist every goddamn day, instead of being called a Nazi, instead of being called Hitler, instead of being called Islamophobic when Islamophobia doesn't even exist. Maybe they're tired of you importing a mass amount of migrants just to rape their 9-year-old little fucking girls, and they want to hear people do some actual reporting on it. And you know that's the truth, so now you need to change the fucking law and petition this American company. That way the truth isn't put out there. That's the world we're in. The government is consulting on options considering whether to make public service news easier to discover on sites like YouTube and TikTok, with greater prominence, more visibility during periods of major public importance, and also seeks to discuss misinformation and online viewing habits. Yeah, misinformation. What a funny word that is. Matt Stanford with a 5-banger. Can we go back to the time where 1984 was a cautionary tale and not a blueprint? Homie. It's not even a blueprint anymore. The blueprint is before the architecture begins. They're putting up the scaffolding at this point. YouTube against the proposed changes. Again, we are at a point in the timeline where YouTube is actually going against the state. Against the state. That's fucking crazy. YouTube has alerted some creators of the changes it can make to their channel, where the messages headline, proposed UK rules could control your feed. Keep YouTube yours. The message invites creators to learn more information about the proposed rules and submit their responses to the government. YouTube has always operated on the principle that every creator gets a fair shot. Which, by the way, is not true, but at least it's more true now than if the UK gets what they want. New UK proposals could change that, requiring us to put some channels above others, it reads. This could severely limit your channel's ability to grow. Hashtag keep YouTube yours. Here's the funny thing about that. Here's the funny thing. Let me see if I can find it, right? Let me see if I can find. Here we go. Open image, new tab. YouTube is rolling out custom feeds. Starting in the US, what are you asking the algorithm for? You are going to be able to use AI to customize your feed. That's awesome. The idea that you can use AI to customize what types of videos, what genres, what creators that you want to see from in your recommended feed. Because look, I get all sorts of my recommended feed that it's stuff I like, but it's not stuff that I necessarily want to see recommended to me. I will actually say YouTube's recommended feed, in my opinion, is usually pretty good. For what I use it for. A lot of other people seem to have issues for it. To me, it does its job. It recommends me shit based on what I've been watching. Well, if I've been watching this, I want to see more like this. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it just depends on what I'm in the mood for. I have a wide variety of everything that I watch on YouTube. I will go from conspiracy theory videos to anti-woke videos to lo-fi music tracks to gaming history videos. I have a wide swath of shit I listen to, which is why I use so many alt accounts. I try and keep my algorithm separate. Sometimes it doesn't always work. So yeah, the idea that you can use AI to customize is going to be great. And good goddamn well that the UK is terrified of this. Thank you, King Alec, for the raid. Terrified of this. Discussing the impact of the proposed rules, YouTube called them a prominence regime. YouTube used the word regime, saying the platform will be forced to give a privileged position to mainstream outlets. They have also said that the move would threaten audience reach with creator content downranked, regardless of what your audience actually wants to see. The UK wants to force YouTube to alter the algorithm, which, yeah, obviously YouTube doesn't want this. They won't make money that way. Don't get it twisted, by the way. This is not YouTube out of the goodness of their hearts being like, oh, we prioritize. No, YouTube makes money based on your viewing habits, based on your retention. They show ads. If you sit there and watch videos for 2 hours straight, they're making more money off ads and whatnot. If you scroll through and watch a video for 30, 40, 50 seconds, flip it off, YouTube's not making any money there. You're not staying engaged on the platform. You're going to move to TikTok. You're going to move to Twitch. You're going to move to Kick. You're going to move to X, whatever. So, YouTube is being a smart business. Hey, by all means, I don't care what their motivation is. YouTube is saying, fuck you to the UK government. Whether it's out of the goodness of their hearts to protect their creators, or whether it's because they know this will cost them shit tons of money, it doesn't really matter. Pretty sure international law cannot overrule corporate practices. Can we get a lawyer's opinion? So the way I understand it, and unfortunately my lawyer girlfriend is not here. She's on, doing her own stream, or she's on Drunk 3PO stream actually right now. But the way I understand it is that the United Nations do have a lot of sway in corporate policy. They can't necessarily make a rule, to my knowledge, over like an American company, but they do have a lot of sway in convincing what guidelines should be followed. So the second one, but no, it is the second one. So we're gonna watch a video on this, make sure we got the full breakdown. The end of UK YouTube.
On YouTube.
Before we do, I've got to hit that membership chat. My bad. Where'd it go? Right here. Fantastically Jade Alice Fab. One thing this could lead to for UK citizens is it will probably end up forced to have a TV license just to watch online stuff, even if it's not live. If that is the route this goes, how are you guys not burning down Buckingham Palace? Set that bitch ablaze. Thank you so much for membership for 20 months. That's unreal.
Proposed UK rules could impact your channel views. The UK government want to decide whose content gets pushed more in the algorithm and seen in search results. This is a direct warning from YouTube for UK creators and states that the British government are...
This will not just be UK creators, by the way. Here's the deal. This will not just be UK creators. This will affect the entire platform because the viewing habits of people in the UK are, of course, by and large, likely similar to those in America and Australia because we are all of Western, white, European, Christian, descent values. We are quite similar in that regard, on average, if you were to average it all out. So if these effects, you can't just, the algorithm only affects this country. There's, to my knowledge, no real way to do that. So this would affect effectively the entire Western first world.
Considering to force platforms like YouTube to give extra visibility to traditional broadcasters like the BBC, ITV, and Channel 4, which are definitely publicly owned entities, aren't they? And definitely don't have any ties to the British government whatsoever. And this could affect more than just the UK. Now, before someone jumps into the comments with their GCSE and being a know-it-all prick, yes, I know the consultation doesn't literally say we are changing the YouTube algorithm, but what it does say, however, is that they want...
It doesn't matter if that's what it says or not. Even YouTube is saying that is basically what they're saying. Like there's a reason YouTube is out there asking creators to talk about this and to fight this. Now, mind you, if I clip this segment into a video and YouTube doesn't prioritize it, I'm gonna be real pissed because YouTube's like, hey, we want to see creators talk about this because this is a problem. Well, YouTube, I'm talking about it, so you better boost my shit when this gets clipped into a video. Just saying. I want to see big numbers on this VOD when on this clip when it goes up. That's neither here nor there. Point is, yes, YouTube is outright saying it will affect the algorithm. So I don't really give a fuck what the UK government says. Trauma Tuna with a tin banger. Careful, Leon. They'll send constables to your door for that opinioneers. Be sure to have your tar and feathers ready just in case. Well, fortunately for me, my pet bird died a year and a half ago, so I don't have to have any feathers ready. That was a really dark joke. I miss Hondo. Thank you so much for the 10 banger, homie. I appreciate it. Let me give you a clip real quick. Since you brought up feathers, I feel like this is only worthy. Shout out. Appreciate the 10 banger. Thank you so much, homie.
To explore ways of making public service media more prominent and easily discoverable on certain platforms. And if one group is being made more prominent, somebody else's content has to move down to make room for that content, which is fucked. And to be clear, this isn't a law yet. This is a consultation. But this is exactly the stage where people are supposed to speak up before decisions get made. So I've linked all the necessary forms below for you to read over and fill out with your response. This is a new strategic direction they like to call watch this space. Oh, you're odd. Normally when someone says watch this space, it means something significant and fascinating is on the horizon. Like, for example, you and your friend are in a similar line of work and one of you have performed better than following him recently. Watch this space, lad. I'm coming for your job type shit. And if you're from the UK or anywhere for that matter, this is something that the British broadcasting services have been trying to do for years on YouTube. We now have factually incorrect Channel 4 documentaries documenting crime and interviewing hired actors with balaclavas on, or simply just re-uploading slop that's already been on television. The issue is, though, there aren't really many people working in these companies who actually know how to do their fucking job. It's not harsh, it's
what do you even say to that? What do you even? Yes. No shit. There's no one in these jobs. No, like, is there anyone in the UK in any position at this point, position of power that is, that knows what the fuck they're doing? Give me one. And don't say Rupert Lowe. He's not in a position of power. He should be, but he's not. Give me fucking one. Like, have you seen Jake Monroe on Jesse Lee Peterson? I've got it in my watch later, but I've not watched it yet.
just honest. I can imagine there are teams of 50 plus people working on a singular video, only to get a few 100,000 views. And they clearly notice that their main issue is a lack of personality and audience retention. Hence why.
Okay, now to be fair, most Brits have a lack of personality. That's why it goes hand in hand with y'all's food. Now, there's exceptions to the rule. Lesis, you have a great personality. Fab, you have a great personality. Most Brits, though, I'm pretty sure you use your strikingly sexy accent to the ears of American woman as a cover for your lack of personality.
Why they started working with YouTubers to present some of their shows. So essentially, to put it plain and simple for you guys, well, this is the way I see it, at least, from what I've read. The BBC, ITV, Channel 4, all of those twats have gone to the British government like a sibling who feels neglected in the household and said something like, "Daddy government, our views aren't really doing that well recently. We can't really afford to keep hiring these massive teams of people who do the bare minimum anymore. Can you do something about it, please? These creators with teams a fraction of the size of ours and zero budget are outperforming us." And some big fucking tosser has gone and wrote up this green paper. Wouldn't be surprised if he smoked some of the green prior to. And this document just has excuses as to why they want to do this, like foster a healthy information environment where trustworthy news is easy to find.
If that is not the most propagandistic bullshit I've heard since the Patriot Act, I don't know what is. Foster a healthy information environment where trustworthy news is easy to find. Hey, to all my UK peeps watching, because I know I've actually got a pretty decent chunk of people that watch in the UK. When was the last time you trusted your news sources? Give me a year or a general event. For all you that don't know the story, I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. My earliest memory is actually of UK news. My earliest memory is of UK news. The earliest memory I have as a wee lad, as you Brits would say, is the death of Princess Diana. Death of Princess Diana. By the way, to this day, we still don't know if the fucking Queen had her whacked. Like, my earliest memory to this day still isn't actually a verified news source. Like, yeah, we know she's dead. Princess Diana is absolutely dead. I'm still not sold on the story that it was just a fucking drunk driving accident. I'm pretty sure the Queen fucking did it, but I don't have the full proof, just some evidence. So even my earliest memory of news that came out of the UK isn't actually verifiable or trustworthy. Just saying. Thanks, Leon. I'll be sure not to interact in the next watch party if I decide to. Hey, I was saying that you do have a personality. Thank you, Fab. I was saying you do have one.
Healthy information environment where trustworthy news is easy to find. That isn't and never will be something that's possible. Are you really that fucking dense? Who decides what trustworthy means? This isn't protecting what news we see, though, is it? It's not about...
Who decides what trustworthy means? It's actually the Muslim grooming gangs that have complete control over Keir Starmer and whoever his inevitable replacement will be now that his bitch ass stepped down. That is who gets to decide what it means.
Me.
You could have one of them fucking Muslims on camera raw dogging an underage girl, and he'd be like, "Pull the Shaggy defense. It wasn't me." And they'll be like, well, hey, he's trustworthy because he says he's trustworthy, so I guess it wasn't him.
Or any of us. It's about you choosing for us. And the entire justification for this seems to be that young people increasingly get their news from social media and that algorithms prioritize engagement and misinformation exists online. Misinformation has existed since humans learned how to fucking speak, lads. The question isn't whether
No. It's not your country anymore, Fab. That's why we're talking about it like this. And that's the reality of it. This isn't your country anymore. It's the Muslims' country now. If this were still your country, this wouldn't be happening. You've lost your country. And hey, I'm sympathetic to it because we're on the verge of losing ours. We are. We're on the verge of losing ours. That's why I cover this shit. I don't want to see y'all lose yours. Just like I don't want us to lose ours. Not bloody yet, it ain't? Well, then explain to me why you guys can't have guns. Explain to me why these Million Man marches aren't doing anything. Explain to me why Rupert Lowe is not in power yet. Explain to me why Muslim grooming gangs are still a thing and they're not getting beat in the streets and forcibly kicked out of the country. Explain to me why people are still going to prison for holding up bacon in front of a fucking mosque. Y'all have lost your country. No reason to be in denial about it. Fucking fight and take it back. Rather than living in denial and say you haven't, admit you have, then take the steps to fucking fight and take it back. That would be my answer.
misinformation exists. The question is whether it's government-backed. Support our public service media providers who sit at the heart of our domestic TV industry ecosystem. You are not in a position...
And just to add to it, y'all could get in trouble for listening to me. Like, that's how fucked it is right now. And I don't want it to be that way. But Lesis, Fab, could you not literally get in trouble for some of the things you've said in my Discord? That's fucked. You might not have lost your country specifically to the Muslims, but you have lost it to the Muslim sympathizers, which at that point, it's just as bad. I'm not now too many here in the UK too scared to fight back. Exactly. So you've lost. If you don't fight back, you have lost. That is my point.
To define the heart of anything. You have your little television shows where you don't allow creative freedom, you cover up predators and treat your staff like shit. The heart of YouTube, and any media for that matter, is the viewer. It's always been about what the viewer wants to watch. They simply don't want to watch your shit. You hire thousands of people that can learn engagement on the platform and help boost your views through...
It's not overblown, Lesis. It's not overblown. If one 9-year-old girl was raped by a Muslim, that's one too many. It's not overblown. The moment your government allows even one of these creatures to come into your country, commit an act like that, then give them protections. Say things like, well, we're not going to give him a prison sentence because, it's a socially different country and he just wasn't aware of our rules. Then it's not overblown. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean the posting online and getting in trouble. That does still, it absolutely happens. I've read countless article after article. Bro, what was your guys' comedian, the recent comedian that got arrested by gun-carrying policemen at the airport for a joke he made on Twitter while out of the fucking country? Again, if that happens even one time, which has happened way more than that, by the way, then it's overblown. Some motherfucker in your country got arrested for a letter opener that looked like the Master Sword from Zelda. It's not overblown. You misunderstood lessons there, Leon. No, there is nothing I'm saying about the UK in any regard that's overblown. In any regard. Like the stream for the common Leon pop-off. I'm popping. Because this is deeply troubling. It is actually deeply troubling. Because when the powers that be inevitably take 100% control of the UK, assuming they haven't already, they come for us and Australia next. The UK is on the brink of the point of no return, if it hasn't even been crossed yet. And when y'all fall, which right now it's looking will be inevitable, but I hope to be wrong. Thank God Rupert Lowe exists. Australia and the US are next. And I don't like none of that. Graham Lennon. Thank you. That was the name. Graham Lennon. Yes. Completely agree, Leon. Deport them all one time in 2 months, forfeit their choice to join Western society, get rid of them. Like, you have to understand what the video we're talking about right now, the move that we're talking about, they are petitioning the largest streaming platform in the world, or video platform in the world. YouTube dominates. It gets more views than Netflix, HBO Max, Twitch, Amazon Prime Video. YouTube is the largest video sharing and streaming platform in the world, and it's not even close. And your government is trying to make it to where you guys can't watch people like me in favor of your BBC fucking propaganda. Yeah, I think I get being patriotic. Your boy loves me some patriotism. Y'all saw what I put on my Instagram a couple days ago about the 4th of July, me and my dad waving the flag. But you gotta be real. Y'all are on the brink. You can get upset all you want. I ain't gonna stop you from being upset. But it doesn't make what I'm saying any less true.
Legitimate means. You're just stuck in the media mindset that's taught within educational institutes. Get with the bloody times. You've even acknowledged that YouTube is now a mainstream media. Then quickly after, you go on to say the first 5 channels on the traditional program guide are no longer the guaranteed front door for TV viewing that they once were. Well, no fucking shit, Sherlock. It's called...
And the UK acts like that's unique to them. Oh, the first 5 channels aren't the TV experience they once were. Neither of the fucking companies or TV stations here in America. Fox News isn't getting the views they used to get. CNN isn't getting all the local stations, your Color Tins, your KY3s, your fucking ABCs, your NBCs. None of them are getting the views. They're all on YouTube. Late night, even if late night didn't suck, even if you didn't have your late night Jimmys, even if you didn't have your fucking Jimmy Fallon and your Jimmy Kimmel and your fucking, God forbid, Seth fucking Meyers, even if all those shows were good, you still wouldn't have the views you used to have because the internet dominates. The internet's in your fucking pocket. YouTube is in your pocket. NBC ain't in your fucking pocket. I mean, it is, but why would you watch that when you could have something more tailored to you? Fuck's sake, lag. I never said, Leon, you didn't even read my message properly. How did I not? If I get upset, it's because what you said is because I'm miserable and that my people are weak and cowardly. It's frustrating to me. Yeah, I know. I did read it properly.
Evolving, lad. You stuck to one format for decades, one way of how everything worked, and it worked for so long. And now, just because it's not working as well, instead of adapting to the times or simply giving up and calling it a day, you want to explore legislative options to enhance your viewership. 1 minute you're saying stuff like YouTube is a mainstream media, which implies jealousy because you've fallen off. Then you're doing the typical British sly move of saying this is about removing false news coverage and supporting broadcasters. Was this written by someone going through puberty? And here's the part that concerns me the most. You've ignored...
No, Leon. She means you didn't read it with the proper English accent. That was funny. That was all right. All right. That's fair. Let me try this again. Leon, if I get upset for what you said before, it's because I'm miserable and not and that my people are weak and cowardly, and it's frustrating to me. Right. You're getting upset for the exact same things that I'm getting upset at. We agree. I just don't think you like it when a filthy Yank says it because that makes it even more true.
Acknowledge viewing habits have changed. You've even acknowledged that people are choosing creators over traditional broadcasters. Yet, instead of competing in that environment, you're discussing ways to make certain organizations...
All right, Fab, I'm gonna be real. If you can't handle it, then you may as well just bounce out for the stream. You can come back later and do the thing that you Brits always do, which is be like, hey, sorry, I got a little bit emotionally upset. Shouldn't have done that. Like, you gotta be here and enjoy the content and whatnot, or not. Either one's fine. But I'm gonna keep ragging on your country because this is some draconian bullshit and it's going to affect you. And if you are no longer able to watch my streams or my videos because they're being deranked in the algorithm in favor of the BBC, you got no one to blame but yourselves. And yes, that's semi-Beatles-esque accent, yeah, because that's the extent of my knowledge on the UK.
easier to find through
later,
legislation.
Hugo.
If your content is better, people will watch it. If it isn't, they won't. That is how the platform was designed, and that is how it works. Today you're saying, oh, it's just all the fake news, but by your own wording, tomorrow it will be documentaries, then it will be entertainment, then educational content. Then once you've got all the
No, it will not be educational content. It'll be re-educational content.
foundations in place, it can be expanded into literally anything you want, and it's absolute bollocks. And before someone says, well, that's not what the consultation says, I know it doesn't. The consultation is focused on news. My point is that once the foundation exists, future governments can widen the passage whenever they want. That's why you need to pay attention to these things before they become a law. Again, the links are in the description below. So essentially, this could mean dedicated BBC sections, or even parts of the YouTube homepage. And essentially, it could mean unfairly boosting BBC, Channel 4, ITV, and many more broadcasters' coverage across the platform. So,
and the thing is, that won't even guarantee views. It does not matter. Let's say this passes, by the way. Let's say that not that it passes because it's not a law. But let's say that this that YouTube bows and kowtows to this consultation, and they start putting BBC and shit like that on the front page. You guys aren't going to watch it. It's going to be there. You already hate the mainstream media. It's not like, oh, we're not watching BBC and Channel 5 because it's not showing up in our algorithm. If it was showing up in our algorithm, we'd be watching it more. No, the fuck you wouldn't. The Brits hate the BBC. The Brits hate Channel 5, Channel 4. That's why they're watching YouTube. To not watch that shit. Just putting it on your fucking homepage and putting it in the algorithm more won't magically make you watch it more. Like, that's, what are we talking about here? It's simple fucking math. All it does is mean I'll wear out my scroll wheel quicker. Exactly. That's all it will do. Correct.
they're more likely to show up in the homepage, recommended, and search results. So who gets shafted in this process? Well, you know, considering my anger, people like me, independent creators, smaller channels, and companies that have built a channel on YouTube that aren't in ties with the government. But most importantly, it dictates what you as a viewer watches on YouTube.
Correct, Garrett.
YouTube clearly didn't like this either. And, you know, for once, YouTube, thank you for letting us know. Thank you for giving us the forms to give our say on this matter, which again, I've linked below. But YouTube, you're owned by one of the biggest companies on earth. We'll do our part and give our responses, but genuinely, maybe pull your finger out. Let them know what you're about. Don't be pushed around by a government that wants its residents to remove air cons during a heat wave. So British mainstream media, we're aware that your views are dropping and that you're not happy about it. And now you want to try lower our income, completely remove our creative space and jobs, and even possibly remove the chance of future generations having a platform to express themselves and make an income while doing so. But you shouldn't have a role in deciding which media organizations get privileged placements on platforms that millions of people use every day. And if you agree, let them know. It's sad though, guys, really, isn't it? Because
and honestly, YouTube is, unless there's some sort of higher force at play than the UK government, YouTube's not going to go for this. Like, the reason they're bringing this to the attention of the viewer base and the YouTubers and telling YouTubers to talk about it more is purely performative, but not in the way that we usually mean performative. Like, usually we use performative as a pejorative and as a bad thing, as a negative thing. But this is YouTube being like, hey, we're letting you know this is what the UK government is trying to do. They can't really do anything about it, but you need to show them how much you fucking hate this. Because again, this will cut into YouTube's bottom line. That's what happened right after Google bought YouTube. The main page is filled with network channels and shows. You had to bookmark it. Exactly. And YouTube realized people weren't fucking watching. And mind you, the network shows changed their formulas as well. The network shows changed their formulas to make more bite-sized style content. This is back when YouTube was still prioritizing videos that were in the 6 to 8 minute mark before people started gravitating towards long-form content, and YouTube started prioritizing things that were 12 minutes plus. But back in when Google first bought it, people were still watching videos that were like 6 to 8 minutes. So you watch your late night Jimmys or whatnot, and their little clips and sketches and monologues and events were all within that like, 6 to 8 minute mark. So they could be easily clipped, thrown on YouTube, get 1 million views, but people still weren't fucking watching them, which is why they stopped getting prioritized.
All you had to do was prove to us that you make better content, earn your place on YouTube like the rest of us, but instead you went to Big Daddy government like a little bitch, didn't you? Are we going to now be asked to pay to watch YouTube like we do with television licensing? Will this...
Someone brought that up earlier. I think it was in fact Fab, who's probably gone now because I made her upset.
affect the algorithm worldwide? I can imagine it will. Is it going to be as simple as clicking "don't recommend me this channel" on every broadcasting company's channel? I don't know, but I think the most important thing at the moment is subscribing to your favorite creators, turn on their notification bells, because you know
subscribing to them with notifications, that don't even matter. That's a YouTube problem. People show up all the time on my recommended feed that I'm not subscribed to. Notifications, I get comments on my streams and videos all the time. Oh, I never got notified for this, even if notifications are on. Shit, YouTube unsubscribes you from motherfuckers willy-nilly. I've been unsubscribed from channels I've been following for ages. And what's to say this UK consultation thing, if it comes to fruition, will keep you subscribed to those channels? Well, you haven't watched them in a while because they haven't been appearing in your algorithm. They haven't been appearing in your recommended feed. So YouTube automatically unsubscribes you from them. Like, that honestly isn't even a good enough answer.
never know. This is something that could be genuinely rolled out worldwide. Check out the forms I've linked below, read the entire green paper, and give your response to this matter inside of that form. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Gobshite.
This was a very important video. Definitely make sure to give this a like, and definitely make sure to fill out the forms he's talking about in reference to what is beneath, what is in the description. Apparently, YouTube is giving you the tools to say, hey, we don't like this. This is bad. Yeah, I need to, here, let's make sure I got this in my bookmarks real quick so that I can also do the same. Why do I not have the option? Oh, here it is. Duh, I'm retarded. There we go. So yeah, that's where we're at. Like when it comes to this UK stuff, like this is true blue authoritarianism. And honestly, full Frieza moment. It's not even my final form. Basically, modern YouTube is starting to squish into smaller creators, but AI driven. But it's AI driven algorithm. No. I mean, no. What this was saying, YouTube is actually against that. YouTube is actually pushing back on the UK government, with the UK government saying, YouTube, you need to prioritize our official news channels over independent creators. And it's to fight misinformation. That's basically what it is. It's to fight misinformation. Alrighty. Well, one more video. One more video I want to cover. And it's building on something we covered a while ago. Sure y'all remember this one. I'm bringing it up. HiAnime was shut down. HiAnime was a fantastic site. We all know it was shut down. It was shut down months ago. I covered it when it was shut down. The people that ran it actually got arrested in a joint operation, including multiple law enforcement agencies, including the American government. Yeah. We haven't seen one single Epstein arrest. Oh, but they arrest these dudes from the Philippines running some anime piracy sites. Fuck you.
The world's largest anime piracy site has officially shut down, and everyone at the top has been arrested. And this is the individuals' mugshots. There's a few here that look like they're trying not to laugh, and this is allegedly what their piracy ring was accomplishing while they were still in operation.
100 plus piracy websites created, 26 plus thousand unlicensed films uploaded, $12 million from ads. Fucking based. Hold on. Let me switch my hat up. Let me switch my hat up. That's right, son. That's right. We rocking them high seas, boys. Fuck you. Not arresting a single goddamn Epstein client, but going after these dudes just working to bring us anime so we don't have to use fucking Crunchyroll, one of the most evil corporations in the anime industry.
with 100 plus piracy websites created, 26,000 plus unlicensed films uploaded, and $12 million earned from ads. And I'm just like, free my boys, what they do? Like what they do, free them. They're innocent. Now, okay, jokes aside, there is a lot of things I want to talk about to this situation I think is very, very important. And I want to talk about like the future of piracy, the future of anime piracy, but also what I think Crunchyroll...
It's not going anywhere. All you did was open the door for people to rise up and take their place. Piracy of anime, or really any content, by the way, will never end. And it will never end because we are not given a viable alternative that is actually worth our time and money. If Crunchyroll weren't a piece of shit company, yeah, I wouldn't mind giving them my money to watch anime illegally. But they are. They suck. They're terrible. They bastardize translations. They remove their discussion boards. They remove comments. They've got a very obvious political lean. Like, they do not give money to the Japanese creators in the way they claim they do. They claim they're all about preserving the Japanese art forms, but then they put money into things like High Guardian Spice, which is a completely American production. Like, yeah, if you guys weren't doing shit like that, sure, I'd support Crunchyroll, but you don't. You go out of your way to make it the most inhospitable community for anybody that wants to engage in anime. So fuck you. Yeah, I'm going to go the piracy route because you don't welcome people like me. You don't welcome the original, authentic intentions of the Japanese creators when you do your dog shit localization.
Netflix and these other big companies can learn from HiAnime. And also, the first thing I want to...
Crunchyroll does not have a monopoly. Dormant site. People keep using that fucking word. Steam has a monopoly. Crunchyroll has a monopoly. No, they fucking don't. Don't use the word if you don't know what it means. You can't fucking use it correctly. Crunchyroll is not a monopoly because there's competition amongst the market. Netflix is competition. Amazon is competition. Retro Crush is competition. It's not a fucking monopoly. I'm kicking it nuts with a two-banger. Yeah, those ELO people in particular. Electric Light Orchestra? I don't know what ELO could be besides Electric Light Orchestra. Anyway, thank you for the two-banger.
Talk about is that this group, obviously, they flew too close to the sun.
Oh,
everybody
yellow people.
knew
Okay.
what HiAnime was. And when you know what it is, that's a problem. When you have your viewership on your site reaching into the millions upon millions of earnings with ads, on top of that, you have basically your viewership compare with Netflix and Crunchyroll, you know you're getting too big for your britches. Eventually, the hammer of justice is going to come down and someone is going to get in massive trouble. And that's exactly what happened. HiAnime just got too big for its britches and it flew too close to the sun and struck down by Zeus itself. And that is exactly what happened.
Chibi, my man. Just like I just screamed at Dormant Psych or whoever for using Monopoly incorrectly. That is not what happened in the story of Icarus. He not get struck down by Zeus. He flew too close to the sun, and his wax wings melted. God damn it, Chibi. Anyway.
It's just only a matter of time. When your site gets too massive, too well-known, this is the end result. Now, one thing, though, that I do want to note here that I think is very important is that Crunchyroll, for example, and Netflix can learn a lot from HiAnime. And what do I mean by that? Well, first off, it's very clear that there is a lot of people...
Now, before he goes into what Netflix and Crunchyroll can learn from HiAnime, because I actually agree. HiAnime, look, I've used a lot of anime piracy sites in my day. HiAnime definitely had the best UI. And a good UI will go a long way. That being said, Netflix is a garbage company for a bunch of other reasons. Not really their anime. Their anime selection, pretty good. Their localizations, more accurate than Crunchyroll's. Like, when it comes to being an anime fan, Netflix actually is not a bad way to go. Netflix is just a dog shit company for a bunch of other reasons. Yeah, I used Kiss Anime back in the day as well. I liked Kiss Anime a lot.
That are interested in anime and interested in the format that HiAnime had. For instance, their browser, the finding of genres, searching up anime, all sorts of stuff like that. It's very clear that there is a interest in anime, obviously. But like, if you're an investor and you're someone that is a company trying to make money and figure out a way to make more money, honestly, you should take a hard look at HiAnime, what they were doing correct to gain that type of viewership on your platform. Now,
More important than gaining that kind of viewership, to gain that kind of trust. Like, HiAnime was a piracy site. What do we always hear growing up on the internet? Sites like this are going to give your computer viruses. Sites like this gonna get you in trouble. You're gonna get arrested. You're gonna get some bad download codes. Things like that. Viewers knew that HiAnime was a piracy site, and they went there anyway. Why? There's no intrusive porno ads. There's no viruses. Like, these homies were out here giving us this anime for free. Both sub and dub, if there was a dub version. Hell, fan dubs, if you wanted to watch it dubbed and there was a fan dub version out there. For the love of the fucking game, son. Now, to be fair, there was obviously money involved as well. Now, it wasn't just all for the love of the game. Again, they made 12 milli doing this. That being said, they were doing this effectively for the love of the fucking game. That's trust, son. That's trust.
Crunchyroll learn from HiAnime and potentially improve their services and basically make it somewhat of HiAnime to interest people? Let's be honest, no, they will not. But honestly, if they were very intelligent and would willing to take, like, for instance, like actual criticism and like a constructive criticism to be able to improve their platform, then I feel like they really should take a hard look at what HiAnime was doing to be able to improve their entire streaming service. And this goes for every service. I'm talking about HiDive, I'm talking about Netflix, Hulu, Disney, you get the point. It was very clear that HiAnime was very successful, making a lot of money, and I feel like if these platforms, instead of making subscription services and they made things with ads, they probably can make a lot of money. I'm just going to be honest. Make a free tier, just put ads on everything, and you will make money. They made 12.
Crunchyroll used to do that, by the way. I don't know if they still do. I don't think they do. Maybe they do. Hold on. Let me Google it real quick. Because I don't want to be wrong about this. Does Crunchyroll still have a free version? Yeah, okay. It ended its free version at the end of 2025. So Crunchyroll doesn't even have that anymore. Crunchyroll doesn't have their free with ads version anymore. Like, what sort of anti-consumer bullshit are you trying to pull? Why would you get rid of your free with ads version that so many people used, force them to pay, when they just go to a piracy site and get, frankly, a better quality version than what you were offering for free anyway? Let alone that you want them to pay for.
$12 million, okay? Just on ads. And they're not even an official company. They have to, like, be in hiding, have sketchy ads and stuff. So you gotta imagine an official company with actual, like, really good brand deals and ad placement. They can easily make some really good money. So the point I'm making I'm trying to get at here, is that hopefully everyone that tried to get HiAnime shut down takes a hard look at this as, like, we can improve ourselves by using.
And the reason they try to get it shut down, the reason they try, dude, I don't care what the reason was. That's what I'm getting at. I don't care what the reason it was. It was a waste of American resources. Really, probably a waste of all these countries' resources, because I'm sure y'all have way more shit that's a problem than a fucking anime piracy site. But let's be real. What are we struggling with in the U.S. right now? All right, that thing I keep mentioning, the fucking Epstein files. You can call it whataboutism. I don't give a fuck, dude. The fact that the CIA or the FBI or whatever, I'm pretty sure it was the CIA, was involved in this takedown. The CIA was involved in this takedown means that there was financial resources and manpower that was allocated to this. I do not, even if I was against piracy, let's say I was, hypothetically, I'm not, but let's say I was, for YouTube's sake, I still wouldn't want to see this happen. Because that means that you have put more time, money, and resources into shutting down a fucking anime site than arresting goddamn pedophiles and child traffickers. Fuck you!
their type of tactics. Now, with that being said, though, there is another little conversation that needs to be had, and that is basically what is lost with the takedown. So, obviously, when it comes to any piracy site, it's like a Hydra. You cut off one head, 3 appear in its place. It's like there's going to be sister and brother sites that are going to spawn that's very similar to HiAnime. It's not the end of anime piracy. However, it is the end of HiAnime, and it is probably the end of sites that are as open as this for a good long.
Why would the CIA be involved in piracy? Because this was a joint operation amongst a bunch of global law enforcement agencies, including the U.S. which again, if it's global and it's off our borders, it'd be the CIA. Because this was effectively a problem that was affecting multiple countries.
While eventually there will be a monolith of an anime piracy site that rises to the top and eventually does get struck down by Zeus once again. But at the moment, it's very clear that this is probably going to scare a lot of people to try to keep everything hush-hush behind closed doors to not be able to get struck down like this. Now, the big thing here is a lot of these sites, they house things that are unlicensed. And this has been always my big point of view of talking about piracy in a positive way that is beneficial.
Yeah. Objectively beneficial, by the way. Lost media. There's anime that could be lost forever. They were only housed on these piracy sites. And when they shut down, it's gone. I'm wondering, can you legally watch Jinga Nagaraboshi Gin anywhere? The original version from the 80s. Jinga Nagaraboshi Gin 86 streaming. All right, YouTube. You can watch Jinga Nagaraboshi Gin, which is a fucking awesome anime, by the way, on YouTube. Okay, is this from Theater Goes to Dodge with Jinga. So yeah, 2018. Great. So you can watch this anime on fucking YouTube. At some point, that could become lost media. If it's removed from YouTube and all these piracy sites are gone, it's lost. It was never given a physical release, not here in America. It was never dubbed. So it certainly wasn't given a physical release here in America or you can only watch it via fan subs on these sites. That's how I watched it. There was never even an official subtitle job for that anime that was released here in America, at least not to my knowledge. The version I watched is fan subbed. If that is taken off of YouTube, that is lost media. Piracy sites kept that shit alive. That is preservation. It's not like they were making any goddamn money from the original, like the original distributors would have been making otherwise. It's not like the distributors of Jinga Nagaraboshi Gin's pocketbooks were being hurt by that being on a piracy site. It was straight up just preservation.
Obviously, sites and copyright holders, they're well within their rights taking down different sites like HiAnime because they are uploading stuff that isn't theirs. That's just the end result. You cannot upload things that are not yours and make money off of it. That is stealing, okay? I'm going to be honest. Eventually, you will get arrested or in trouble for it. But the thing here is oftentimes, there is stuff that is uploaded onto these platforms that are completely unlicensed. For instance, no streaming service, no company outside of Japan actually has the license to certain series, and they more or less are just only translated by fan subgroups. And so there's a lot of stuff like this when it comes to manga and anime that are very old, very niche, that are on these platforms, and if a certain site is taken down, they could effectively become lost media. Completely lost that people don't know. There's probably already hundreds of anime out there right now that we have no idea exist because they have become lost media because
Tubi is great. I've been using the fuck out of Tubi. I've been showing Sevi Archer for the first time. She's never seen it. Watch it on Tubi. Dude, it's free without ads. I've watched more Tubi thanks to us doing the watch parties and me showing Sev Archer and whatnot. I've watched more Tubi than any other streaming service besides obviously YouTube, if you count that, in the last 6 fucking months. Tubi is awesome.
Some of these piracy sites were taken down, and the only, actual video upload of certain anime was on that platform. And I do fear that eventually stuff like this with like HiAnime, for example, is going to cause like, lost media for some anime. Now, obviously preservation, is pretty simple nowadays with certain means and stuff with a cat, but I will say that it will eventually happen. Things do happen. Things are lost, which is one of the big reasons why I was concerned with Bato last year when that was taken down, and a lot of people were concerned, was because obviously it was like the Great Library of Alexandria. It had a lot of manga that were just completely unlicensed, nowhere you could find outside of Japan, that were translated into different languages, and there was no loss of money because no official company was licensing it, but the site was taken down, and it caused a massive loss. So, yeah, that's the big point here, is that I feel like manga piracy sites are a game of whack-a-mole. Eventually, you're going to take these sites down, more will spawn its place, but things will be lost in the process, and that is my big concern with this. And I really wish a lot of these companies that take this stuff down, they look at it and be like, we could be better. We can try to be and replicate them and utilize their systems to be able to get more viewership, make more money. Because HiAnime proves that there is definitely a fascination for that type of service. Just watch anime with ads. I don't know why they don't do that. It's very weird. But I will leave it at that. Tell me your honest thoughts in the comments below, how you feel about this situation. You all be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.
Excellent video. Excellent video. Drop it in the comments for you guys. Make sure you give it a like, give it a sub. Yeah, he is 1000% correct. Piracy will never go away. For every piracy site they strike down, 2 more will rise in its place. It is the Hydra. And the internet's always been like that. Before you had sites that would just stream this shit, you had torrents. By the way, torrent sites still exist for anime. You could still do it. Now, you have to do downloads. You have to get a whole lot more careful with it. It's like LimeWire back in the day. Oh, you think about to watch fucking Dragon Ball GT because for whatever reason you want to relive 1998 and don't realize Dragon Ball GT fucking sucks. Actually, I unironically like Dragon Ball GT. The point is, now you gotta download it. Oh no, that's kind of a problem because it could end up being a fucking virus. By the way, the antidote to that: just get y'all a physical copy. Just get y'all a physical fucking copy. But guess what? Not every anime has that. Not every anime got a physical copy. Not every anime got one in Japan, let alone it was shipped here to America. And then you have to play, do what they had to do with Erased. 12 episodes cost like over $100 to order and get shipped here because it was only produced in Japan, got shipped here. Erased was 12 episodes, costed over $100 fucking dollars. So torrent sites still exist. More of these piracy sites are going to exist. It's a losing battle, but more than anything else, let's be real. This is about preservation of media, and this is about just a waste of resources and manpower. Child sex trafficking rings exist out there, and they're going after fucking anime sites. Get the fuck out of here. Alrighty, what we doing? All right, it's the end of the show. Super Saiyan 4. Yeah, Super Saiyan 4 is fucking great. Super Saiyan 4 is great. So wait, mainly on the end.exe I got from LimeWire was fine. Alrighty, crew. I think it's time to start wrapping it up. I think it's time we start hitting the old dusty trail. And maybe hitting the high seas for some of y'all that want to watch some anime tonight. This was on backwards. Straw Hat was on backwards that whole time. Let's see who's live. Let's see who we're gonna raid. I know ABF is live soon. Is he live yet? I don't know. Oh no, I don't want to switch account. Let's see who's live. Let's see who we're gonna raid. Maybe if YouTube works. Why is the YouTube Studio app not working? There we go. All right. Customization. All right. It's been a long ass time since we have rated ABF. So we're going to rate ABF. His show doesn't start for another 6 minutes. I want all y'all to get up in that bitch. And I want y'all to say, give a good vital idol raid to Alec Baldwin's finger. Great dude. Love the motherfucker. And then on the kick side, we'll go ahead and raid Leaflet. Leaflet's live. We'll go ahead and raid Leaflet. Not a huge raid, but we'll raid her nonetheless. Give me one moment here. Let me set that up. All right, crew. You guys are the best. Shout out. Thank you oh so much. Thank you for the donos. Truly appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow for Tinfoil Haters. It's going to be a great episode when I figure out what we're covering. I have like 3 or 4 ideas. I don't know which one I want to cover the most yet. Maybe the Basin side, Mount Rushmore. Haven't decided. We'll see. That being said, it was a great show. Thank you all so much. And until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. And this has been Words of Paradise.